One question I get asked a lot is how much stock should I plan to give up to attract my initial implementation team? Well, that's a really hard question. I mean, there's no real good answer to that. Obviously, it's a bit of a negotiation. You don't want to give up any more ownership in your company than you have to. But here's a way to think about that. One thing I like to do is put together a little spreadsheet, make a list of the people who are going to be involved in that initial implementation team. And I like to score each one, scale from 1 to 10. You can do it however you want, but I like to score each one on a scale from 1 to 10 with respect to the contributions they've made in the past. And then I also score each one on a scale from 1 to 10 with respect to the contributions I expect them to make in the future. And then I actually put a little weighting on the future. I mean, I'm much more interested in rewarding future performance than I am in rewarding past performance. The past is just a way of giving people credit for maybe an invention that they made before the company was formed or something like that. So with those relative weightings in mind, then I can tally up what I think the relative weighting should be between different founders of the company and different members of that initial implementation team. And now I can figure it out. I can say, okay, add them all up so that it's 100%. And that gives me some indication of what the relative percentages should be. The problem, of course, is that in the future, you're going to issue additional shares, and those people are going to get diluted, and everybody just needs to understand that. But that's a way of sort of working through that problem. Another way to think about it is to look into the future at what you think your company might be worth at the time that you exit. I mean, if you really thought that you're going to take the company public in 5 years with $1 billion valuation, then someone who owns 1% of it at that time would be getting $10 million out of it. That might not be a bad deal. So very few companies actually get those kind of numbers. But you could think through what the future value might be and what a 1%, 2%, 3% interest might be worth. And then you could sort of discount that back to a net present value using some kind of a reasonable discount rate, might be 30, 40, 50%. So that's another way of coming at it and sort of cross-checking your results and thinking through what might make sense. There's no real good answer to the question. It's more a function of trying to balance different people's contributions and skill levels against the best thing you can negotiate, and sort of leaving plenty of stock available for future hires, especially some of the top managers that you'll need before you're all done. Not to mention the stock you're going to have to issue to raise capital that you need to go forward. So it's an exercise in trying to fit all those puzzle pieces together the best way you possibly can. Can be done. Most successful startups come up with fair and reasonable answers to that question.